probes here. I'm sure Oreo is doing his best. He knows he's against one of the favorites to win the whole tournament here, so he's definitely going to be trying his heart out. And looks like this probe just not quite able to block that barracks, but immediately starts harassing away. DD, aware of this, quickly pulls the probe. Does not want to obviously does not want to lose that SCV there, and throwing down the gas on the typical 13. So we'll see what he wants to do with this. This could really lead to anything. Obviously, it's not going to be a gas fast expand, but it could still be a Reaper expansion. But I'm kind of expecting DD to do something a bit safer than a fast expansion here. Probably want to get either 2 racks or a racks in a factory before ending. Meanwhile, the Protoss player just doing everything that is quite normal. Bit of a hiccup in the probe production here, but getting gas up, getting the gateway out, and just macroing up. Meanwhile, DD getting his orbital command, going to be scouting out for some cheeses while taking a look here. This is a very popular spot to proxy gate. You know, you can kind of cover both locations, get your opponent off guard. A bit longer of a rush distance, but usually your opponent is expecting proxy a lot less, so the buildings aren't placed quite as well to defend as a Terran player would usually do on a map like Steps of War, where everyone and their mother likes to proxy gate. Meanwhile, DD scouting out, gonna get the bad news here that his opponent is not in this spawn location and gonna need to turn around. But of course, he should make it to the Protoss base well before any stalker gets out, so he should be able to see exactly what's up, see exactly what the gas times are. And here we go, it's gonna be a factory for DD, so this is cool. Gonna need to keep an eye on his second gas to see how techy he wants to go. And there's that second gas going down now, so probably gonna tech up pretty quickly. Probably going to be a bit of a delayed expansion here. Might just go for a very strong one base timing push. A lot of really good players like to kind of do that kind of thing when they're, you know, the early round tournaments. They just want to do a really strong one base push and, you know, hope to win right there, or just fall back on expansion. We'll see. Could still certainly expand pretty soon. Second gateway on the way here for Oreo. Getting to chrono boost out that warp gate upgrade. And Stalker nearly out, but this SCV, I think DD is just happy to keep it in the base as long as possible, try and see everything going on. You know, a Robo Bay could be thrown down any second here, but it's actually going to be a third gateway here, and is he going to see it? Let's take a look at his vision. He does actually see that, and actually that's going to cause a cancel, which DD actually also saw. But then he's going to go down and throw it again, so that's interesting. It's actually going to allow him to, you know, DD's probably not going to think that it's a gate, you know, but it is a gate, so pretty tricky there. And this Hellion going to be scouting out as well. Probably going to be able to get in the main here, and it looks like it's actually going to be a Banshee opening. He's got a decent amount of gas saved up here, so probably going to be getting Cloak, and there's no Robo Bay, of course. Doesn't take too long to get that Robo Bay up, given Cloak isn't even started yet, but we'll see. And, you know, this Hellion, the way it looks like it will be able to just charge in the main and get a good look at what's going on. If he's on the ball with the force field, oh, looks like he's just not going to risk it. Feels pretty safe already, and it's actually, looks like I was incorrect. It's going to be a Raven on the way, and then a Tech Lab going down on the factory, so this is interesting. I'm guessing it's just going to be a tank, marine, Raven push, the very old school Pool Prime style possibly, we'll see. Could maybe even get Blue Flames. I kind of expect that a bit less, but if DD knew that there was no Robo, I'm pretty sure he'd opt for the Banshees, but of course he doesn't know that, and the Raven is just an always safe play. I really love it, and actually going to use that Tech Lab for the barracks instead, so I'm sure we'll see Stim pretty soon here. And of course Command Center on the way, and a Nexus on the way for Oreo, so you know, DD happy to play passively against his opponent here, and gonna do what players will often do and just try and cheese out their spear opponent. It looks like a bit of lag from Feargorm. Goes away though, so no big deal. No big deal. Just getting Marauders out. No Stim yet, actually, though, so that's quite surprising to me. This Raven is, of course, you know, 200 Raven is just so annoying for a Protoss to deal with. Stim is on the way now, by the way. And both players just macroing up, but there's no real tech added in or transition for the Protoss yet. Probably going to see a Robo pretty soon, I'd have to imagine. He's really playing quite solid. And it's going to be Hallucinations, so wow, Hallucination is ever popular. You're going to see that both games, you know, from both players. So I think he's just going to try and skip out as much on that Robo, depend on Hallucination for scouting, and I don't know, maybe I'll go for some Templar tech. DT's, of course, not going to be a good choice here. We'll see. Maybe he'll just throw down 2 forages to go for that double forage upgrade, so he could really do anything at that point. Meanwhile, DD just adding a bunch more barracks. He's going to be moving out with these Banshees. Ooh, where'd it go? That is in the main, just making a beeline here. Oreo going to quickly pull all his probes, send in the Stalkers, but the Banshee going to cost some mining time, does take out 1 probe, so nice harassment there from DD. Just going to do what he can, you know, try and pull his opponent, and just make it a bit more difficult to multitask. You can see this Banshee trying to take out the pylon, but the Stalker range, I believe, is the exact same as the Banshee range. Not really going to be able to do too much, even though that pylon is right up against the edge. And some more building swapping going on. Going to be, looks like double medevacs coming out soon. And I'm not sure what this tech lab is going to be for. Maybe going to swap that on and just get tons and tons of Marauders. Stim is nearly finished, so he could go for a push coming up, and I'm probably missing some harassment here. It looks like, no, DD just chilling back, but this Banshee going to be able to do a lot here. There's a couple of units ready to be moved, but not before he loses a few probes. And, you know, this is a great way to play for Terran. You just get out that Raven first, build up a lot of energy, and then harass with some Banshees afterwards, and then if you keep the Banshees alive, you just add those to your army, and they're just great for DPS. Give an insane amount of synergy the point defense drone, because the PDD will of course cancel Phoenix fire, Stalker fire, and while we're at it, it'll cancel the cannon fire as well. So, you know, if he throws down 2 PDDs, it's going to be pretty strong. You see, this Phoenix is just chilling here. Meanwhile, Banshee coming in for more harassment, up to 5 kills now, taking a lot of damage though. This Banshee just chilling here, not going to quite use that. Meanwhile, an SCV getting suicided into the front, wants to get a good look, and I'm sure he's kind of curious at the lack of tech here from the Protoss. He's just kind of massing up gateway units, and all of these Marauders with Stim. As more medevacs get out, he's up to 4 medevacs. DD is just kind of going to be able to out macro his opponent here. He's forced a lot of cannons. You can see Oreo is quite scared of this harass. He's got a lot of cannons. He knows he has no robo, so he basically needs the cannons for detection. And this Phoenix is going to be seeing what's up here, getting a good look. Kind of knows what his opponent has, but his opponent just built up such a fearsome force here. It's up to 104 food against 76, so you know, just crisp, clean, solid mechanics, tons of practice time really showing for DDE. Just a very solid player doing a very safe build, and looks like he's going to be pushing out now, and this could be all she wrote. We'll have to see. I don't know. It's a pretty sizable force here, but her fire really going to get negated by the Raven, and the Banshees just do great, but looks like he might actually lose 1 Banshee here, and that's going to hurt a lot. You really want to keep those alive. But stimming up, he does just barely keep it alive, picking off a lot of units. Some decent force fields going off, but I don't think it's going to be enough. And we'll see how aggressive exactly DD wants to get here with his force. Looks like he might just be elevating up to the high ground. This could go either way, but I think it's going to go pretty well. And we'll see if he wants to get the rest of his units, or what he's going to do. Yeah, ferrying more up, and should be seeing a PDD any second here. Down it goes, and the Stalker is just doing no damage. And the Marauders are just going to clean house here. Meanwhile, more units coming up the front, but the cannons are actually taking care of that. I think that main force here, you can see DD. I really like that he's not just throwing down both PDDs. He's going to save this. He could even throw down some turrets and some good spots for hats, but just making the optimal use of his Raven here. And there's the GG, and NrGdde going to give that a little Korean GG there. So well played. And Oreo does appear to be humbled by just how solid DD